Hello, everyone. I'm Chesnick44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Last episode, we visited this inconspicuous camp and found a kobold of all people who knows strangely more than he should. Also cleared out an underground hideout which happened to have a bunch of incubi in it. Now... Okay, looks like we're tired. Yes, let's go ahead and rest. Let's see. Protective rituals will be you. Alchemy will be you. Camouflage, you're the best option we got. And us two will deal with that. And we'll boost up the alchemy. No, we'll boost up the camouflage with Camellia. And we'll do fish on a stick again. Go ahead, rest.
Foxes are incredibly intelligent and quick-witted. They are also noted for their high fluffiness quotient and their aesthetically pleasing hue. Yes, I think that is a sufficiently objective description.
I agree. No, I'm not biased. Okay. Well, our troops can now continue on. We've got an army here we can deal with. Discari's slaves fought fearlessly and relentlessly, like insects swarming around a flame without any awareness of what they were doing. When the last of the demons had fallen in battle, the Crusaders could finally take in what exactly they had been fighting for. For many years, these old salt mines had provided the local alchemists with their most valuable ingredients, and now they would do so again. Hey, what do we got here? Bonus to combat morale. Enemy units have a penalty to it. Infirmary size increases. 10% more experience and an additional feat at level 20. I'm taking that. Extensive Infirmary is good, but Zealous Student is good for the long haul. This one is going to be easy to kill. That one is going to be tough. Alright, let's see here. Ghouls, zombies, giant flies. Let's kill as many of these giant flies as we can, please. Lower the horde. Some damage to the ghouls. You are going to stay back. I think those ghouls are going to take a while to reach us. So let's try and kill these flies before they kill us. Okay, the ghouls will take another round to reach us. They both will. Alright, fireball again. Take out the ghouls. There you go. Down go the flies. And now the zombies, who I think are basically just tanky guys. Yeah, they're more tanky than anything else. Ow. You know what? Smite evil. Yeah, we can just beat these guys down and they're not going to be able to kill us. Not going to waste any more spell energy. Plus, the Smite Evil does actually help a bit. Oh. Wrong play there. I keep forgetting that those cavalry go so soon. There we go. Zombies are dealt with. This old Sarkorian graveyard was ravaged by a group of flesh-eating ghouls. They mangled the corpses or turned them into walking dead, but the valuable items buried in the graves proved to be of no interest to them. This ring grants the wearer a +5 competence bonus on all used magic device skill checks and increases the save DC against all spells of the illusion school the wearer casts by 2. That, 100%, goes to you. Because you're an illusion-focused person. Now, can we kill this army? Maybe. Let me drop a save before we try. Alright, let's see. Can we kill you? Okay. You guys went first. We can kill the cultists. Or do a lot of damage to the cultists. You... The Babaos. They have a sort of counterattack, I think. Yeah, they do. So I can't really smack them. Alright, let's finish off the fighters. Nearly killed him. Ow. Let's see. Do more damage to the Babaos. Ow. And you can't do anything. That I don't like. I mean, it hurt his own guys too, but... Okay, kill the Locust Swarm, please. Thank you. Down go the fighters. And some more damage to the Babaos. You are not going to be able to do anything, so just run. Can nearly kill the Babaos. They're no longer a threat. Let's deal with these cultists. You can't do anything. But I think we have this. Okay. Yeah, we got this. We're not going to lose anyone. Some damage there. Archers, finish them off. Okay, there we go. That was possible. Well done. The enemy, which threatened to strike at the rear of the Crusader army, was defeated. The Crusaders can approach Dresden with no need to watch for an attack from the rear. Alright. They'll be going there next chance they get. This army will stay where they are. No, I'm curious. 5 to 12, 1d8 plus 4. 3 to 8. Honestly, I should probably switch out the Hell Knights with the other cavalry. They seem a little tougher. So, screw it. Alright, as for you, it's time for us to go to Heaven's Edge. Alright, Heaven's Edge. Happy to serve you, Knight Commander.
Amo.
Ooh.
My not so numerous, but nonetheless dearest guests. About a year ago at my last birthday party, I assured you all that I nurtured a deep-seated hatred for boring people who give protracted speeches in the misplaced belief that their inner thoughts are of any interest to anyone but themselves. Now I am a whole year older, and also a full-fledged crusader, an honorable position that requires me to be as dull, pedantic, and vexing as I possibly can. Therefore, a speech it is.
Daeran's face is impossible to read. He has his usual half-smirk fixed in place, his eyes gleaming with excitement, but his anxious gaze wanders for just a moment too long before he begins his speech.
The revered cleric Nestrin, my guardian and tutor, often told me that those who live a sinful life may expect to join the abyssal hordes after they die. This is why their path is the most despicable of all. A part of their soul may return to Mendev in the abominable form of a demonic invader. Every time we see a demon, we might as well think about it. What if this wretched creature used to be your great-great-grandfather? What if certain parts of this pointy-tailed beauty used to belong to your pious cousin? They say that the demons represent the sins of the souls they are made of. Succubi emerge out of lustful souls. Vandals turn into Abracandilu. Gluttons become Nabasu. I, for one, am determined to commit as many different sins as possible, so that the distributive mechanism of the abyss breaks when it tries to decide what to do with my soul.
Well, that's a way to do it.
You, my dearest guests, will be my assistants in this complicated task. Eat, drink, and indulge yourselves in whatever vices you can. Let nobody leave this house as righteous as they entered it. Live every day like it's your last. After all, nobody knows when that day will arrive, do they?
Daeran smirks, finishes his wine, and tosses the glass to the ground. How interesting. Inquisitor Leotar whispers in your ear from behind. Did you find anything interesting? Nothing, really. I just took note of a few things. I attempted to find out whether anything unusual or mysterious has happened to the Count over the last 10 years. During my conversations with his acquaintances, 2 people noted that he never speaks of the revered Nestrin, the priest of Iomade, who was his guardian and tutor. Yet he just mentioned Nestrin in his speech, whatever that might mean. You told me that you tried to find out if anything odd had happened to Daeran over the last 10 years. Oh, some of his servants complained about strange occurrences in the house, like objects moving by themselves or candles going out. Of course, that could simply be a figment of their imagination. It is also very well known that the Count often invites various spellcasters to entertain him, and encourages them to use their magic in mysterious ways. Practically the whole of Mendev knows a story about 3 drunk wizards and their teleportation race across the roofs of Canabras after a party at the Count's house. What I'm trying to say here is that any fluctuations in residual magic at his house are not at all surprising. There was the matter of the abduction, however. A gang of bandits kidnapped the Count hoping for a ransom, but the only reward they got was death. Afterward, the Count told everyone that he had hired the bandits himself as a joke. The other mercenary squad that freed him and executed the bandits was also in his employ. Nobody really wanted to delve too deep into this case after confirming the identities of those wretched cutthroats, but there was one disturbing fact about it all, and I don't mean the Count's bizarre idea of fun. The mercenaries who supposedly freed him had also cut off the bandits' heads, after they had already killed them. Their heads were cut off. You mean the bandits who attacked Daeran? Yes. Perhaps I wouldn't have even noticed this detail had I not visited Heaven's Edge right after the tragic incident. I remember that we also found several headless bodies, both of guests and demons. We thought they had been decapitated during the fight. My companions have been finding severed heads among their belongings recently. Strangely, things like this weren't a problem before Daeran joined the party. What? That is an alarming coincidence. Now we have another reason to conduct an investigation. It is crucial that we find out what exactly happened at that tragic feast. What do we need to do, Inquisitor? Now that's the hardest part. I need to dive deep into the past of this place, which requires casting several different spells over some time. It would be very convenient for me if nobody interrupted the process, especially the Count himself. I don't think he remembers my face, but a suspicious stranger casting unknown spells might attract his attention. All in all, what I want you to do is to distract the master of the house. Right now, he is playing host in the very place I'd like to start with. So how do I distract him? I don't know. Maybe your companions can assist you somehow? Or you can take a look around, perhaps there's something that can help us. I understand. Good luck. Come back to me when the Count leaves. I will tell you everything I managed to find out and maybe even show you something. As you wish. Oh, there's loot around here. A jug of wine, if used creatively, may distract the Count for a while. The decorative plants are in a miserable state. They've been neglected for many years. I can imagine how lovely this manor must have been before the war. I yearn to set up my easel in one of the pleasant little alcoves and paint to my heart's content. So I've somehow landed at the party of a royal brat? Go figure. You never know when or if you'll get another chance to rest and have some fun during wartime. I'd rather take my chance while I can. I adore this estate. So much beauty. So many quiet nooks.
I do what I must.
This estate could be remade into a formidable defensive outpost. It should be expropriated for the sake of the war effort and the owners compensated. After victory is secured.
Impossible.
The brickwork looks strangely uneven. Wow, that was not going to happen. I mean, frickin' hell. Well, there's loot around here to pick up. That one is not worth it. The door is sealed and looks like it hasn't been opened in a very long time.
There's something here.
Seems there is a hidden cache inside the wall. You can see a keyhole among the
We do it
decoration.
my way.
So I guess we need to find a key somewhere.
Interesting.
Hey, some scrolls. And some other things. Countess Selena Nevia Dara Arende with her infant son Daeran. Unlike typical aristocratic portraits, this one depicts a young mother having fun with her child in a seesaw. I love this song. Everything here is just so sparkly. I'm just gonna take a look at this thing and put it right back. Honest. I don't like it here. This party is stupid. The psychological premise for mortal's attraction to sights of mass murder or gluttony. Which article from my encyclopedia should I focus on now? Oh, so that's how the Mendavian nobles live. Are they latrines adorned with gold and diamonds, like people say? Oh, it's you. You remember me? I called on you to save the Count in Canabras. Door's sealed.
Follow if you dare.
Anything over here? Also sealed. Alright. Oh, anything for you, Daeran? Daeran, who has been watching the guest with an unreadable expression, turns his head to you and says in a casual tone, like he's continuing a conversation that was interrupted. I have always considered myself an aesthete, not a hero. When doomsday comes, I thought I'd pour myself a glass of 100-year-old wine, sit in the front row, and just watch the world burn. Playing the violin was also an option. Now I'll be damned if I know how I ended up in the Fifth Crusade. How did I become the companion of a heroine chosen by Iomade? Sometimes the most casual occurrences dictate our fate's course. I'm afraid that is not always the case. Sometimes it is dictated by alien but wholly deliberate forces. Tell me more about Heaven's Edge. This estate was once a truly beautiful sight, with its lush gardens and placid ponds. Daeran smiles briefly. It's a genuine smile, quite different from his usual half-smirk. The house is not that large, however. This land was part of the border region even before the World Wound, so my ancestors took that into account when laying the foundations. The larger the mansion, the harder it is to defend. I'd gladly give you a tour, but I'm afraid there's not much to see here. I didn't have much time, so my servants only managed to clean up this yard, the Great Hall, and a couple of rooms. There's nothing interesting about them. Except, perhaps, the magical firefighting system powered by water elementals. I'm still not sure if it's functional, though. So why did you really decide to throw a party at the scene of such a tragedy? What's this ghoulish farce all about? What an odd feeling. It's like I had been lying under the sun in a spectacular meadow in full bloom, and then you barge in to pour a bucket of ice-cold water all over me. Is this how you treat people who invite you to their celebrations? No, you don't have to answer. I could come up with a polite excuse, but I'd rather match your courteous manners and put it bluntly. I do not wish to continue this conversation. Thank you for ruining my mood. I shall retire to my chambers for a time. The Count gives you a pointedly formal bow and leaves. Didn't intend to do it that way. Crap. Alright, Leoter. I see that you did your part, Commander. Thank you. Now get ready to watch and listen closely. I will unravel the past of this place and try to show you whatever I find. The hum of voices, laughter, and music fills your mind. Then the visions come, fragmented and hazy at first, before eventually coalescing to reveal a single face. It is a woman of stunning heavenly beauty, and her delicate features instantly tell you who she is. The family resemblance to Daeran is obvious. My dear guests, the Lady of Heaven's Edge welcomes all of you today. I hope this day is as bright for you as it is for me, because on this day my only precious, sometimes arrogant, but utterly beloved child was born. A child is usually a reflection of their parents and caretakers. Countess, will you allow the humble tutor of this young man to address the guests and the man of the hour as well? A new face appears. It is a handsome old man with a strong, dignified posture and a voice that emanates power. Can't we have just one day without your sermons? It's my birthday, after all. 10 years ago, the young Daeran had an utterly angelic appearance. His table manners and expression lacked the dignity of a true angel, however. Day, I'm sure the revered Nestrin only wanted to hug you and offer you his best wishes on your birthday. Wait, what's that noise? The shrill laughter rings in your ears and reverberates in the base of your skull. In the vision, a Lilitu appears before the guests of the estate and gives them an exaggerated, scornful bow. The sorceress of evil has come to your celebration, mortals. Did you prepare a treat for me, too? What do you want, spawn of the abyss? I've already done everything I wanted to. Hey, you doddering cleric, look around. Don't you notice anything odd? The plague is in your wine, in your food, in the air around you, in your blood. Soon you will all die. Pray to your pathetic goddess and call upon your healing powers all you want, but they are not going to help you. Nothing will help you. I will give you a chance to see it for yourselves, and when I return, the grave realization will have already sunk its teeth into your throats. Oh, how I love watching mortals in their final desperate hours. The demon finishes her speech with an air kiss to Daeran, making him freeze in horror, and disappears. Leoter shakes his head and slowly exhales, rubbing his temples. The first appearance of the disease in the Lilitu, one of the many sisters of the accursed Monago. So far, everything I've seen matches the official version of events. Who are the people in the vision? Countess Selena Arende was Daeran's mother and one of the most beautiful women in the history of Mendev. She was an Aasimar just like her son. The old man is the esteemed cleric Nestrin, our count's guardian and tutor. He was well known for his unfaltering faith and iron will. I was only passing acquaintances with him, so I can't tell you anything more than that. I didn't recognize the others, but Daeran told me that the first victims of the disease were his second cousin and the cousin's wife, hailing from the eastern border. Surely the cleric could have done something. I can't say for certain, but I believe there was nothing he could have done. Magical diseases are already difficult enough to cure, and this plague struck very fast indeed. Now we must find out what happened next. What now? I can sense the aftershocks of a very strong outburst of emotions and memories somewhere in the west wing of the house. Something must have happened in one of the rooms, so please check if anyone is in there and distract them if need be. Alright then. Well, let's head up. Ah, everyone's about. Fun and frolics may shield us from horror and despair, but one should use this shield sparingly. The Mendavians sure like to put on airs, but they know how to throw on a party, I'll give them that. Both this place and its owner make me think how deceptive appearances can be, but I cannot deny that the wine here is very good. How can a single family, or even a person, live in a house large enough for my entire tribe? Don't think I underestimate the importance of quality rest for soldiers. This revelry isn't rest, it's decadence. There's so much food here. If I let Soot eat everything she wants, she'll become twice as fat and won't be able to fly anymore. I wonder why the demons who attacked Heaven's Edge chose plague as their weapon. It was so unimaginative. Well, Jiff, I just saw a portrait of Daeran's mom. So she was an SMR too, huh? Some people get a celestial bloodline, tons of money, and a title, while others get horns and a slap in the face. Where did Nenio run off to? She must have gone somewhere. Oh, there she is. Compulsive food consumption may be a symptom of several serious neurological disorders. It may also indicate that the food in question boasts exceptional palatability. Probably so. Looks like this episode's gonna go long. I don't think I have the key here. Damn. Daeran arches a brow at you, but he doesn't seem to be disturbed in the slightest by your entrance. He's not trying to cover up or get dressed any faster. Commander, I assume you have an urgent matter that requires my attention. What is this room? Daeran casts a look around the room as if he had never seen it before, then shrugs carelessly. Just a random room. I told my servants to make some rooms ready. This is one of the rooms they chose. I am absolutely confident that you won't be able to persuade Sociel to draw a portrait of you. A nude portrait, that is. That sounds like a fine idea. Our cleric will surely turn down a direct request, but if I tell him that we can sell the portrait at a charity auction... Why have I never before thought of selling my nude portraits at a charity auction? Oh, it will cause a huge scandal, but it will also be for a good cause. Oh, this will give those god-botherers something to complain about. You've given me a brilliant idea. Well, that works out. Now then, Leotar. I see that you were able to do as I asked. Prepare yourself. This vision might be rather difficult to watch. Young Daeran stands motionless by the Countess's bed. His face is pale with fear, and for good reason. His mother's heavenly beauty is gone. Her smile, once beaming with vitality and happiness, looks more like the grimace of a corpse. Only her golden hair still glows, a sad reminder of the healthy young woman she was just a few hours ago. Mother? Can you hear me, Mother? Day, my boy, how did you get here? Don't come any closer, this disease... Mother, listen. The revered Nestrin has sealed the gates. He says that he won't let anyone leave the estate. If the plague reaches the larger settlements, nobody will be able to stop it. He claims this is why the demons attacked us in the first place. They knew that we would call upon the strongest clerics to heal us, and those clerics would catch the disease and die as well. The fat Baron and his family tried to escape, but 3 armed paladins barred their way and said they would not let them go. Mother, we need help. Canabras is full of clerics, wizards, and demons who know what else. They might know how to stop it. We need to get there as soon as possible. We must obey the revered Nestrin. We are the lords of Mendev, and we must protect our people. If the plague, if it reaches Canabras, thousands of innocent people will die. I don't care about innocence! Daeran's voice rises to a shout. You're ill, Mother! You're dying! You must tell them to open the gates and take you to Canabras. They won't listen to me, but you are the lady of the estate. They can't refuse you. I can't. I must. Please leave, my dearest. Don't lose hope. You can still... A convulsion overtakes the Countess's body. Her last words are swallowed by a long, guttural groan. Leotor wearily rubs his temple, but his face is unreadable. Now I have an answer to one of my many questions. Nobody went to Canabras in search of help because the revered Nestrin didn't let them. He valued the safety of the city more than the lives of his flock at the estate. What a difficult choice it must have been. Was there really no other choice? Who can say now? They could have sent one of the paladins to bring help from Canabras, assuming that the Knight of God was immune to the disease. Perhaps Nestrin thought he might need them to maintain order. Or maybe he understood that the demons would not allow anyone to leave anyway. Or maybe the plague was so strong that it could mow down even the most righteous warriors. We will never know if any of these hypotheses are true. I have never been in the revered Nestrin's position, but I know the price of difficult decisions, especially those that you have to make quickly. I have no right to judge him, but we must continue our investigation. The next site I'd like to examine is the Great Hall. That is where we found the remains of Nestrin and the demons. I assume that he killed them in a confrontation, but we must make sure of that. Please help me clear the area so that I can study it. Alright then.
Follow if you dare.
Oh. Stop trying to talk me into this. You have neither heart nor conscience, Daeran. Even the noble idea of charity becomes a farce when you touch it. Well, I'm sure Daeran tried. I don't think these so-called innocents will suffer from knowing that their money and medicine came from my sinful silhouette. I wonder what... Okay, nothing new here. Daeran? There's a feverish gleam to Daeran's eyes, owing to either tipsiness or some overabundance of emotion. Ho there, Falai. That rotter Social refused to sketch me in the nude for charity, but he didn't upset me too much. The faces he made while I was explaining the idea to him were well worth it. He looked very much like a pious matron being confronted with a talking male organ, one that was 2 foot long and being held aloft by a pair of golden angel wings. How are you enjoying my party? Are you having a good time? How about you, Daeran? Are you having any fun? Oh, of course I'm having fun. What's wrong? Do you want me to spend my whole life in fear and mourning, blaming myself for what happened? Fine, let's change the subject. I thought the unique ambience of Heaven's Edge and the fact that we're on the very border of the whirlwind would make this celebration special. I thought the past would resurface and make itself known. Well, it seems even ghosts don't wish to attend my parties anymore. What can we do to liven up the evening? Know what I think? I think it's time for a drinking contest. Ah, yes, the tried and trusted method for salvaging a dull party. For salvaging anything, actually. I am ready, but who's my competition? Olbrich will show you how they drank in Old Sarkoris. I lost the odd contest in my day, but never a drinking contest. Well, there's a first time for everything. I only hope that after our bout you do not fall into a dead sleep for another 100 years. Let's drink until one of us falls unconscious or begs for mercy. That was just a little warm-up, I say. Up for more? Oh, this is serious drink. We didn't have this back in my day. I'm sure you didn't. Winemaking is a complicated science verging on magic. It has come along in leaps and bounds in the years that you spent slumbering in stone. Come on, Olbrich, don't let me down. Oh, this here house will run out of drink before I run out of steam. Ha ha ha! Oh, are we done here, or are you ready for another round?
Oh, I've disgraced myself. I've been out drunk by a city-born popinjay in a silk shirt.
This is what happens when an overconfident barbarian issues a challenge to civilization. Oh, dang. I expected Ulbrich to win. My grandfather, or maybe my great-grandmother, put this bottle in the family cellar. And it allowed the scion of an illustrious line to save face and finish in a tie. Daeran looks a bit unsteady on his feet. I don't feel very well. Hey everyone, let's go back outside. I need to get some fresh air in my lungs. Oh, dang.
Here we are again, Commander. So, let us take another glimpse into the past.
A ripple of laughter flows through the hall. It begins as a sweet, charming chuckle, but then turns into a rasping cackle that makes Daeran huddle even deeper into his corner. Why are you running from me, my sweet prince? Come on, let me touch you. I'll give you... The booming voice of an old man dressed in Iomedean robes shakes the walls of the hall.
Get away from him, demon! Let the boy go! By the blade of the Inheritor, you touch him only over my dead body!
You are pathetic, old cleric. Are you the guardian of this charming little prince? Well, you guarded him in vain. The disease is already circulating in his blood, and soon he will rot before your very eyes. You won't be able to help him, and I can at least make sure his death is beautiful, clean, and sweet. The demoness turns her eyeless face to Daeran and licks her lips. A coarse laugh escapes the young man's throat. We'll see about that. Leotar turns toward you in astonishment. Droplets of sweat glisten on his temples.
Something is wrong, Commander. My spells are not working as expected. It's as if some kind of a supernatural explosion occurred here 10 years ago, blending everything together. The magical auras, the emotions, the memories. I will try again to read it.
Could it be dangerous?
I cannot say for certain, but it is unlikely. The past is in the past, and no one can travel through time except for some uniquely powerful entities, like Aeons, or perhaps the eldest of the First World. Even though the past of this place is horrible, it poses no threat to us in the present.
Please continue.
Just give me a moment to focus. I will try to channel my visions and feelings to you as accurately as possible. Daeran, my boy, what is going on?
Leotar's muscular shoulders suddenly begin to shake. The vision he is channeling does not change, but you feel something enormous and chilling silently infiltrate the reality around you. The presence of this nameless being becomes almost palpable. Some alien entity is talking to him. Hurry, old cleric. Stop him right now. Do you really want to see what happens when... Save me. Can you save me? The presence thickens into something more tangible. The entity is silent, but you feel your blood pulsing in your temples, and each beat brings a new image, or rather, a new notion. Help brings a feeling of relief and safety. Exchange makes the pulse stronger, more demanding. Gate and secret come immediately after. The images become heavier, almost visible. Secret, keep the secret. Otherwise, death, 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 death. The gruesome images whirl through your mind, filling it with pain and fear, and then it all starts again. Help, exchange, secret, death.
Nestrin stretches out his shaking hand, suddenly looking like a doddering old man instead of a mighty cleric imbued with holy power. Daeran, wait! The thing you're about to let loose is even worse than these demons! Daeran's body is quivering like a taut bowstring. His eyes dart from the cleric to the demoness who is frantically casting protective spells. Demons, saints, I'm so fed up with all of you. Burn! Leotar? Leotar opens his eyes with a groan, then gets back on his feet. His legs are wobbly, his eyebrow is cut, but he seems not to notice. Sincere sorrow is written on his face, as well as a strong hint of horror. What a misfortune. No, what a disaster. Everything is far worse than I imagined. Are you alright? The strain, the emotions. They overwhelmed me and made me faint like an agitated youngster. It is nothing, really. I will not be able to cast any spells for the rest of the day, but aside from that, I'm fine. Do you understand what happened 10 years ago? The Inquisitor slowly exhales through clenched teeth and says in a low voice, still massaging his temples. Yes and no. Damn it, my thoughts are astray. I'll try to explain everything to you in full detail. Many living things are capable of performing the most extraordinary feats, good or bad, when a deadly threat looms over them. 10 years ago, the young Count found himself cornered in every sense of the word, and he allowed some alien entity to intercede for him. It frightens me that all my experience as an Inquisitor is completely useless in this case. It does not resemble anything I've ever heard or read about. This entity, I think I will call it the Other, possesses uncanny power. He was capable of instantly killing 3 greater demons, a mighty cleric, and a host of other mortals. You saw everything yourself. What's even worse is that this entity, this Other, it is still here. Leotar takes a long pause. His gaze is drawn to the chamber where all the guests are laughing and dancing. Daeran's eloquent voice rises above the music for a moment. He's asking someone to bring more wine and add more logs to the fire. I don't know what exactly this creature is, but I know what it did to the Count. It turned him into a living gateway. The Other is not inside the Count's body. It is not directly controlling his mind. That's why there are no obvious signs of possession. But it is looking through his eyes. It treats him like a window into our world, and it can instantly step through it to wreak whatever havoc it desires. Does Daeran know anything about all this? Yes, of course he does. Did you hear what the Other tried to convey to us? Help in exchange for a secret. Death. Death to those who know the truth. It wants to have an opportunity to use the Count as a gateway without anyone knowing. This is what made Daeran deny that he remembered anything about the conclusion of the events at Heaven's Edge. What might the Other want? This is the strangest thing about it all. It came to this world 10 years ago, and it's still here, right? All this time, it has been watching us through the eyes of the Count. Had it, for instance, wanted to kill Her Majesty the Queen, it would have had plenty of opportunities to do so. The Count can get close to practically every influential figure in Mendev, but the Other refuses to act. Or its interests lie in some other sphere. Did the Other kill everyone, then? The disease was not to blame. Not everyone. Just Nestrin, his paladins, and the few remaining guests. Damn it, I know that it was the work of a mysterious, omnipotent entity, but it still stings. I was here 10 years ago, and I didn't check everything personally, and those who did failed to sense that something was wrong. Could the Other be the reason why my companions kept finding severed heads among their belongings back in Canabras? It seems very likely. I am almost certain you are right. People tend to lose their heads when they get too close to Count Arende anyway. I do apologize, that was inappropriate. Perhaps your gruesome findings are the heads of some cultists who tried to kidnap the Count during the Canabras slaughter. Or perhaps they provoked the Other in some other way. We have to do something. Yes. Now I understand Father Nestrin perfectly. I must make a crucial decision despite a dearth of information. Commander, first and foremost, I must apologize to you. Second, I must ask you to keep this secret. What are you so sorry for? I apologize for dragging you into this mess. You see, the Other, an entity of immense power, stated very clearly that it would kill anyone who found out the truth. Anyone who knows that the Count is actually its living gateway. I suppose the secret is currently known to 3 people on Galarian. You, me, and Count Daeran. That means... Why should I keep it a secret? As soon as the Count finds out that we know his secret, the other will understand it as well. We do not know what it is and what exactly is the scope of its powers, but we do know that it would dispose of anyone who might reveal its existence. I've made a decision. I will not tell anyone about the discovery we've just made, not even the Queen or my superiors. Instead, I will immediately go to Nerosian and sift through all the archives of the Inquisition in order to find out what exactly we are dealing with and how it can possibly be defeated. I may also make some cautious inquiries in other places, including Absalom. Still, I will not reveal the truth until I have found at least some reliable information. I am asking you to do the same. Specifically, do not say a single word about our investigation of the Count himself. So you want me to lead the crusade while carrying a bomb that may explode at any moment? I'm afraid that you won't be able to hide from the consequences when this bomb does explode. It is up to you to decide, though. What are you going to do with Daeran himself? At the very least, he is guilty of letting the other enter our world. Right now, I am a lot more concerned about the other, but when we find a way to get rid of this entity, the Count will have to stand trial. Many things about this case are still unclear, including the extent of his guilt. Did he call upon the other by himself, or did he simply answer its call? Could he refuse its offer, or would it have led to his immediate death? Every detail is important, and every testimony needs solid proof. That is the difference between righteous justice and blind vengeance. Fine, I'll keep it a secret. You've made the right choice. I recommend that you go back to the guests and spend the rest of the evening as you please. Anything else might raise suspicions. I must leave immediately and search for the knowledge we all need so desperately. Farewell, Commander. May the light of Iomedae guide your path, and Leotar Hawkblade will try to keep your path to triumph clear of any unwanted guests. And with that, I'm afraid I need to end the episode here. Much as I'd like to finish things up here, I do not have the time. This episode has gone on way too long. Next episode, we speak with Daeran at the end and leave this place. Till then, I am Chester44, also known as Belai. That is me. This has been a Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous, and I shall see you all next time.